Morning, everybody. It's Davey Dog here, Dave Foster from Fontaine Family, the real estate leader. And today I'm out in Brunswick at the Marshview Farm with Mary Boutin, who is a tester observer for Alliance of Therapy Dogs. And I thought it'd be interesting to find out more about what therapy dog organizations do, what the tester observer does, and also get to hang out with her new puppy, Kenzie. So this is Kenzie. Hi, Kenzie. How you doing? You want to get down? You can stay up if you want. Mary, thank you for meeting with me today and sharing your puppy in your beautiful home. I just want to kind of ask you, what was it that actually got you into doing therapy dog work and testing, observing? How did that all go?
Well, I actually, back in the 90s, I worked for a therapeutic horseback riding program and saw the benefits of pet therapy there. We'll let Miss Kenzie down. And then I got my dog in 2011, Sadie, and a friend got a puppy as well, and she was interested in pet therapy. And I said, wow, that sounds kind of cool. I've done it with horses, dogs, great. And Sadie just really had this affinity for people and especially kids. So I said, let's try this.
And how old was Sadie at the time?
Well, Sadie was actually 4 or 5 months old at the time, but you have to be a year old in order to be a therapy dog.
Yeah.
So as she matured, we just worked on her manners, taking her to all different places, and getting her just used to being out and about. And so when she was about 1.5 years is when we went through the process to get registered as a team.
That's great. And so how long between, well, first of all, I just wanted to say, talk about the team part of it. Like a lot of people think you're actually registering your dog as a therapy dog, but it's about a team effort, isn't that correct?
It is, yes, because when you're going to visit or, you and your dog are a team together. You have this relationship. And so you have to pass that relationship on to the people you're visiting. And you're kind of the conduit to get the dog into the room and start talking. So you really have to have that connection with your dog and understand your dog and know what works for your dog. So that's why the teamwork.
And when it might be time for your dog to be done visiting that day.
Yes,
so,
right.
Yeah, the dogs kind of tell us that. So as far as getting into being a tester observer now, how long were you doing therapy dog work before you started to do TO work?
Well, my mentor suggested to me that, Mary, I think you'd make a good tester observer. And I thought, wow, well, yeah, that might be interesting. So I had to be doing pet therapy for 6 months on my own.
Oh, okay.
And so after the 6 months, I had to take a test. I had to have an on-the-phone interview.
Yeah.
I had to have various experiences. So what I actually did is I assisted with a dog trainer friend. So I got some experience learning about different dogs, different behaviors. And so that took, a good couple months to get that all in place. And
but basically it was right away. You got right
into
it.
After 6 months.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so now, you did work with me on a couple of dogs. Nora, which is my friend Terry's dog, who got tested and certified a couple years ago. And last year, Colton, who's my 2.5-year-old black lab, who you got tested and through the program last fall.
Right.
Although we haven't had a chance to do many visits because of the COVID, that was a great experience for him to go through. So how many dogs do you think you've tested?
Well, I've been doing this for almost 8 years.
Yeah.
And I figure over 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's
met
great.
A lot of great people and great dogs.
Yeah, and so when people ask about, people want their dog to be a therapy dog.
Yes.
What do you tell them? What do you tell them about the process?
Well, I ask them, is your dog interested in meeting people, going into new situations?
Yeah.
It's got to be, does the dog want to do this?
Right.
The person might yes, pet therapy, that's for us.
Yeah.
But does your dog want to do it?
Yeah.
So is your dog happy about meeting people? Is it
Okay.
comfortable being in new situations? Yeah. Those are the top things I ask.
And then have you ever had situations where the people who have the dog might be a good candidate, but you found that the person, the owner of the dog, may not, understand the process of appropriately going into places or understand when their dog might be done visiting and notice those signs in the dog. Have you ever had that situation?
Actually, no.
That's great.
The only thing, I had a guy who physically could not do it.
Okay.
He was an elderly gentleman, and just physically he couldn't. It's more that the dog didn't want to do it.
Good.
And I'm not a trainer, I'm a mentor, so I actually would help people look for the signs if their dog was happy or stressed or not really wanting to do this.
Yeah.
So that was my role,
That's
to help
great.
the person. And they were very willing to
learn.
Listen.
Yeah, that's great. So I always ask people, first of all, we got a chance to look at your other animals here. We got the donkey whose name is Zeke. And the horse? Elias, and your beautiful puppy who's now laying down on her mat over there. She's just awesome. How old is she?
She is 4.5 months old.
And she's obviously going to become a therapy dog.
Well, we hope so. It all depends on Kenzie. She's got the temperament.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a question of when we actually get into visiting. Is this something she's going to enjoy doing?
I think she'll be good at it.
Thank you. I hope so.
Yeah, she greeted me today really appropriately. Didn't jump, and then within a minute it was back to you.
Yeah,
so
she's
that was
very
really nice.
sweet.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
great.
Here she comes now. So I always ask people, like, what's the weirdest, strangest, most unsuspecting thing that has happened to you while you've been on the therapy dog, whether doing it yourself or maybe testing another person or another team? What's the weirdest thing that's...
Well, one thing, it was kind of sad for the dog, but it was a weird thing. The dog did fine in the handling portion of the test. That's where I'm looking for, how the handler and the dog are as a team.
Yeah.
And he did great with that. So he passed that part of it. Dog was happy to be petted.
Yeah.
Then when we started visiting, the dog kind of got really nervous.
Yeah.
And went under the bed.
Oh, wow.
He couldn't get the dog out from under the bed.
Oh.
He crawled into the corner of the room, and I said, we're done.
Yeah.
The dog is not enjoying this. The man had to physically carry his dog out. So that was kind of a sad thing.
It is sad, but it's good to know, though,
But it was good to know that
pretty evident.
he was, like, surprised,
Yeah.
but, like, geez, I guess this isn't the right thing for my dog.
So as far as if somebody's interested, somebody might be watching this video and be like, oh, I'd like to try to do that with my dog. What would you suggest that they do? How to reach out, or how do you, is there a website to go to?
Go to Alliance of Therapy Dogs.
Yep.
Just Google that. It'll take you right to the website.
Okay.
Find a tester observer in your area, and they should reach out to you. You'll need to get a background check. You'll need to have a physical for your dog, and they have to be at least a year old.
Okay.
And then you can start the process. We go through 3 to 4 visits together.
Right.
That way we get a good indication.
And where do you visit? Like, if I wanted to go to the hospital, would we go to a hospital, or would you go somewhere else?
Well, I do my visits at the senior center. Once you get registered, then you can go visit hospitals, nursing homes, read to the dog program.
And we did our visits at the senior center in Brunswick.
Yes.
And they were great because they know you, and they know that you're walking through with new people and all that stuff.
Right. A lot of places don't want to take that liability.
Yeah.
So, but the senior center was
that was
gracious.
great. So, Well, I really appreciate you, inviting us out here to do this interview, and I really kind of just wanted to see Kenzie. I've been seeing a lot of pictures on Facebook, and she's just beautiful, and she's got such a great temperament.
She's been a joy.
Yeah.
It was tough. Losing Sadie, so she's been a joy.
Yeah, that's right. You lost Sadie last fall.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tough. So, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And it's nice to see you again.
I
enjoyed
know.
our time together.
I know. We'll see each other, I'm sure, as things lighten up with the COVID thing, and we'll get more people involved in that. I work with the Central Maine Medical Center, so I get some people referring through them to do the work, and I typically send them to you if they're interested. But if you're interested in learning more, just reach out to Alliance of Therapy Dogs. I think it's therapydogs.org. But just Google it and you'll find it there. And again, I appreciate everybody watching this. And this is Davey Dog. And don't forget, today's the day. Don't dog it.